Hello and welcome to Walk and Talk. The date on the alien calendar is 3/2/3/1/12. 4/2. And that means the date on the Gregorian calendar is Tuesday, August 11th, 2023. Sorry, 2026. I messed up that one. See, I don't even know my own calendar. Or I don't even know the real calendar. I know my own calendar, because that's the calendar that I work on, which I think is a flex. So, today I'm going to, talk about, my song. I'm gonna try to cue you in on me coming up with a song, and, I tried taking a video before, my pants started falling down. I think I got them tied correct now. I'm gonna take the so basically the story goes, last night I was trying to come up with some songs. The first song I came up with was 102 Sex Drive, and that's a play on the and that's based off of the the location where the protagonist of Inanlia lives, which is called 102 Sex Drive, because it's on the road that leads to the social environment capsules, and which are the SECs, the sets. So, I make a lot of songs involving that acronym, and Suno never pronounces it correctly. But that's a whole other can of worms. There's this so the song was supposed to go, my lover's on sex drive. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Talking about 102 sex drive. Just to be clear, the 102 actually comes from 102 Rainbow Drive, which is where I used to live when I was 11 months old to 4 years old. And that I always remembered as a very happy period in my life because of I guess I was trying to contrast it with being 5 years old and living in an apartment. You know, I remember really liking it, but I think I was just trying to make myself feel worse later instead of better early on, instead of actually feeling it in the moment. But and then I said, my mother's on sex drive. That's where I started from. And I know it's on sex drive. It's back where I'm gonna come. So I'm talking about 102 sex drive. I'm talking about 102 sex drive. My brother's on sex drive. Haven't seen him since puberty. I bet he spends all his time up on the neighborhood beach on 102 sex drive. On 102 sex drive. You know, that kind of thing. Maybe just repeat that. That's basically the whole song. Like, I came up with that whole song, and then I realized, like, Probably not a good idea to put family members on something called sex drive, even though that's literally where family comes from. But that's kind of but so I came up with another song, and I thought that would be, I think when I was originally coming up with sex drive, I started thinking about coming up with sex drive. I was thinking about I was thinking about a desire to talk about another thing about Anlia. Like, I have a lot of songs about the KAP, but I don't have any song that's just called KAP, Kaleidoscopic Atomic Printer. I have every Anlia as a cat, but they don't really explain all in one place where, like, what the KAP is. That might be a good thing to put in a song. Or maybe the KAP as an allegory, And instead I started coming up with 102 Sex Drive. Because that just came to me really quickly. And I just thought, nah. So I think I'm gonna write a song. So the next song I wanted to write was a song called. The song that I wanted to write as its replacement was called Web of Truths, and it was gonna contrast. And I was gonna talk about the inevitable fall of civilization. Well, I think Sex Drive is basically a retread of different planets. Because it's saying, like, I want to get back to where my family is, and where my children is, and where my lovers are. It's basically the same thing. Then you got, whereas, that song, Web of Truths would be mostly about the way that all nations are doomed to entropy, and that, like, the rulers will eventually take over. But the thing is, that doesn't mean that the thing that replaces it is better than the thing that started. Right? It's kind of like if you say yeah, there's a that's kind of the thing. Like, I watched this video where they said, according to Animal Farm, revolution would be bad because it would lead to the concentration of power eventually. But the concentration of power. But this person said that even capitalism was a revolution against the aristocracy of England, and Europe in general, maybe like France actually. But the idea that I now think about it is, like, this process of the elites getting corrupted is inevitable, but not necessarily fast. So that means if communism were to replace capitalism, and it would be better for a while, does that mean communism is better than capitalism? Or does that mean early stage communism is better than late stage capitalism? And in which case, why don't we just overthrow it with another new capitalism? That's kind of that's what I would think. or another new capitalism, which is the same kind as it was originally. You know, that's kind of an alienism has nothing to do with resources. The resources are just a tool to, the freedom of the resources is just a tool to allow for more freedom of behavior. So it's kind of but I was listening to my playlist of songs of the year, and I was kind of struck by Life is a Highway by Rascal Flatts. Like, I could make a straight up reply to that, right? You know, I would say, because this song, Web of Truth, does not come easy. And it sounds kind of, you know, simplistic. It doesn't sound very, or it sounds kind of childish when you actually try to sing it. For some reason, it sounds like, it sounded like, and then the starting verse would of course be different than all the other verses. So you've got, the starting verse would of course be different than all the other verses, and I wanted to make it sort of, so it said, yeah, I don't know. But I actually had some pretty good verses that come off of just doing the opposite of Life is a Highway. I find that is super interesting to actually take into account, because, like, let's say, so here's some central metaphors I want to work with. Heaven and retirement are the same thing, right? And then you've got, and good deeds are the same thing as money, and sins are the same thing as a criminal record. So then you have this escalating series of metaphors for, you have this escalating series of metaphor for what life is, as opposed to life as a highway. So you get kind of, so the first metaphor is the garden path, going back to something that I heard in ChatGPT. Apparently a lot of what I do is called garden path humor, where you take the most common interpretation of a series of words and you add a word to the end or somewhere, so that interpretation no longer applies, such as we're the old man, I wish I was young. You know, as opposed to we're the old man, I wish I was young. Yeah, that's kind of the essence of it. So you could say the garden path. I remember when I was little and the garden path was just a line in the sand. You know, that might be the first metaphor, and then you've got life is a board of pegs. Because you ever seen that scientific thing, a scientific toy where you have a board that's completely covered in, or it's got pegs at regular intervals all across two-dimensional space, and then you take a ball and you drop it from the middle, and then the ball turns. The ball bounces off the pegs randomly one direction or the other, and at the end it makes a normal distribution, which is the distribution of the average of any infinite number of points on a line. So if two averages fall in the same place, the y is 2, right? If three averages fall in the same place, the y is 3. But of course, infinite numbers of averages, so it's really an infinite numbers of, and the total is an infinite number of averages, so it's really more like a percentage of the whole. And it's also distributed along, an uncountably infinite number of points, which means that any individual point has 0 odds, but the area under the curve for a specific, the area under the curve from a specific point to a specific point out of the area under the whole curve, which is calculated with calculus because it goes infinitely in all directions, is we'll not talk about that. So you've got your life is a board of pins. Life is it's very hard for me to say that in one go. Life is a board of pins. And I might want to say that casually, like, and life is a board of pins. That's kind of, and then you kind of go, tack it onto the end of something. And then at the end you say, life is a board of pins, but a brain is a neural net. And then you might be able to tie it back in the beginning. You say something like, oh, this is great. You say something like, life is a board of pins, but the brain is a neural net. Keep digging that garden path, and that's the path you'll get. Sorry, no. Keep digging that garden path, and the path is... Sorry. And that'll continue to be the path you get. A little bit rough on the syllables, but, I guess it's worth it if someone can interpret it. Yeah, I think, so let's see, let's test out a few little, and then, every verse can be the, so, let's do the same as every verse can be, a modification of the last one. So, let's see. Should we do an intro? Working till the day I die, trying to get to heaven. Sorry, no. Helping people till the day I die, trying to get to heaven. Alright. Work. Sorry, what? Work. Sorry, let's do the things like this. Let's do it like this. Helping people till the day I die, trying to get to heaven. Working till the day I retire, so I retire on cloud 11. Yeah, it's interesting. Cloud 9, cloud 11. That's a little bit higher. Retire on cloud 11. You know, in the book they're counting my sins of. So the devil will always know. And then in the book they're counting my sins, so the criminal record shows. And I say.
Oh, also, I guess we have lunch and dinner next week at the house. Is that the
See where. Right. And then in the book, crying my eyes, so no record shows. And I say. Wow, actually, that sounds like it should be the chorus. Yeah, I think that's too long for a chorus. The verse should be something like, the verse should be the thing from before, like, don't you know that life is a... No, actually, I think it's like, don't you know that life is a... Don't you know that... Don't you know that life is a highway? No, I probably shouldn't actually quote it. That's only for songs when I'm trying to quote things. Don't you know, I miss when the garden path was just a line in the sand. And it was just a line in the sand. And it was easy to think I knew the difference between God and man. Maybe I should actually add another chorus. Man. Because if I go straight into every... Yeah, actually that's fine. Helping people till the day I die, trying to get to heaven. Working till the day I retire, so I'll retire on cloud 11. Bum, bum. doing. 'Cause I know they're counting my, as though the devil knows. And I know they're counting my crimes. So the criminal record shows. I think I could actually write this down. Be a little bit slower. Yeah, I'll write it down. Write this down in there. I remember when the garden path looked like just a line in the sand. But don't you know that life's just a, don't you know that life's just a border of pins? Don't you know that life's just a don't you know life's just a border of pins? I set those numbers to rand. Ooh, rand. I like it. Random versus rand and rand. All right. Cause you know they're cause you know helping people till the day I die, trying to get to heaven, working till the day I retire, so I retire on cloud 11. Cause you know they're counting my sins, so the devil knows. And you know they're counting my crimes, so the criminal record shows. And I say, don't you know that I probably should make these a little bit more different. Maybe I'll, don't you know that life's just a border of pins? But don't you know that life's just a border of pins? But the brain is a neural net. Let's see, I had it recorded earlier. Don't you know that life is a border of pins, and the brain is a neural net? What you? Treading down, I'm gonna modify it. Treading down that garden path, and that's forever the path you'll get. Carving now that garden path, and that's forever the path you'll get. All right, that's gonna be a song. All right, I'm gonna go and record this song, and then I'll record my YouTube video, or actually I'll upload this YouTube video. People can sort of understand what, and it's fitting perfectly in the 30-minute mark, which is perfect length for a YouTube video. All right. Yep, I'm gonna go ahead with it.